The Indonesian archipelago is by far the world's largest, with 13,677 islands, straddling the equator over a distance of more than 5,000 kilometres between the Indian Ocean and the Pacific. Indonesia is so huge that getting around takes real planning and quite a lot of hard work. A long flight with Indonesia's airline Garuda took us through to Medan. Then we drove into wonderful high Lake Toba in part 2, and in part 3 we are going to follow the long windy road from Parapat to Sibolga on the coast, through the remote jungle of Sumatra and home to the near extinct Sumatran tiger, right down to the Indian Ocean and further southeast along the coastline of wonderful Sumatra. So let's head south into the jungle home of the tiger and beyond to see more of superb Sumatra.
Yes, and strips. And yes. That dry, so become rolling. Yes.
Cinnamon. Horas is an Indonesian word meaning greetings. It could also mean goodbye or hello. A bit hard to be sure here, but Horas to you too.
200. Dua. Itu sorry sangateng.
Ano naman? Buang gateng.
Buang gateng.
Buang riban. Karena yang aku kan jual ke pasar orang. Ya udah masih ke sini dah.
Masih ke sini lah.
Sangat ikut kan naro. Baru aku.
Terus.
This seemed to be a rather unlikely tourist spot, but it had a distant view of Lake Toba at the southern end, and presumably was a holiday village of a sort.
This one? Yeah, that's right. I mean, usually that's very small village. Yes. Yeah, very small. Not in one state. Yes. Maybe on one family. Yeah, for the staff. Staff. In church, Kristen, Batak Protestant. So like this, HKBP, Jangka dulu. Yeah. No problem. No. Let's see.
This farm apparently had dry rice as its major crop, and the women seemed to be quite happy with their threshing, although to me it looked like pretty hard work, but they went on hour after hour apparently without pause. The buffaloes appeared to clean up what was left inside the dry stubble, These young ones seem to be a bit unsure, but inquisitive just the same, and even came back for a second look.
There's also one river past Swedish to Malacca Strait. The name is Asahan River. Only one river.
Our guide was telling us that this village was called Asahan Rivers. I'm not sure of the significance of it as a name, but it was typical of a number of quite major villages along the southeastern shore of Lake Toba.
The water from lake to Malacca Strait, but
this area is very much Muslim, and here are school children returning from classes. Next stop was at a very busy market at the southern end of Lake Toba, showing an astonishing variety of produce that they produce locally. We of course had a good look around, because so much of what they sell is not sold back in Australia. In fact, not even produced there, because the climate here and the volcanic soil is absolutely ideal for what they do grow. Just look how busy it is. Indonesia has a huge population, of course, and Lake Toba itself has many millions scattered around its shoreline. It seems as though they're all here, busy shopping to take home fresh produce for their meals, and of course whatever else is sold at this wonderful market. These excited children looked as though they had never seen a video camera before. Maybe they haven't, but they were wonderful to record on my tape. And like children everywhere, they get really excited in such a crowd. This looked like some sort of berry or currant. I'm not sure what it was, but this woman was being very selective in what she chose. The market had an astonishing variety of dried prawns and fish, assumedly from freshwater in Lake Toba, but maybe some were brought from the Straits of Malacca off Medan, or even from the Indian Ocean at Sibolga, where we're going, although the road between Lake Toba and Sibolga was really horrendous, as you will see very shortly. Marjorie was getting some help from our guide to buy some fresh spices to bring home.
Thank you.
This market had everything on offer. This man is obviously getting a pretty good haircut, while these two women stand by with their beautiful shop, waiting to have his haircut too. What a lovely child. 60 kilometres south of Prapat, Balege is famous for batak cloth, also available in this market. But we didn't get any, sadly. Buildings of the Balege market are also famous for their high, sweeping, traditional style roofs, with fine traditional carvings on them. This is our final view of magnificent Lake Toba at its very south. We were quite sad to leave it, but we now faced a new adventure over the really high mountain between us and the coast at Sibolga, and the dense jungle we will pass through is the home of the final few of the now very rare Sumatran tiger. And of course we didn't see one in the wild, only a stuffed one later in the museum at distant Bukatingi. These Muslims are headed for a local religious gathering of some sort. And here it is. We pass through many small towns on the flat before we rise up into the mountains beyond the lake. This is a magnificent structure. School children returning home from morning classes. And now we start our climb into the mountains. Our driver got a real workout turning that steering wheel as we went through S-bend after S-bend on a narrow road with few real passing opportunities should we run into anyone needing to pass us by going the other way or even going our way. I don't think I'll ever complain about Australian roads again, but if this was bad, wait till you see what's ahead. A climb down the steep scarp to Sibolga really beggars belief. Wait till you see it. Fortunately, our driver does know his road well and gives a warning toot on his horn to let anyone coming our way know that he is headed towards them. I think we might have reached our highest point, and not far ahead, I hope, is the lookout looking down to Sibolga, and then the trouble really starts. Wait till you see it. But there are lots more spins before we get to the top of the range, it seems. This township is located very high up in the dense jungle, where the Sumatran tiger has been a big problem in years gone by, with quite a few of the people of the township succumbing to the attack by the tiger. In recent times, however, the tiger sightings have become quite rare, and no one has died. I guess that's good for the townspeople, but not great for the tiger. It seems likely that the Sumatran tiger will only survive in the zoo somewhere. Sad. A big job replacing a rainwater culvert under the road. There seem to be repairs going onto the road everywhere. Finally, here we are, at the lookout above Sibolga. From here on, it's downhill all the way, and it's really downhill, as you will see. And here is the Indian Ocean, our first sighting of it. Other than its location in relation to the islands offshore, where there is said to be some wonderful diving sites, Sibolga is primarily an overnight stop at the end of the jokingly called Trans-Sumatra Highway, en route from Lake Toba to wonderful Bukatingi to the south. But of course, we have to get to Sibolga first before we can turn south to Bukatingi. And there lies the problem, as you will see. Sibolga is quite a substantial town, as you can see, but reading about it, it does seem to be either just an overnight stop en route to the islands offshore, on the way south to Bukatingi, or going north on the way to Lake Toba. But it was a very pleasant stop for us to get off the bus for a little while and relax over a drink. But of course nobody had told us at that time about the trip downhill. And there is quite an inspiring monument here to the Indonesian heroes who fought the Dutch to regain sovereignty over their land. Well, here we go. Yep, the Trans-Sumatra Highway is really interesting, isn't it? They're replacing a washed out bridge here. I wonder how long before it happens again. Finally, here it is, the big city of Sibolga. But frankly, all we wanted to do was to bathe our feet in the Indian Ocean. And the beach itself was pretty nice, really. But we're going to go a long way south, so here we go, we're on our way again. These are long poles the locals use to make fishing platforms, fishing out on the shallow bay. We're headed inland again, en route to Bugatingi, but that's a long way south.
Sabo side. I mean, so now that we take our dinner at hotel in our hotel Bukit Tinggi this evening. Yes. But there is also very important, so nice, but with something that I will inform you where we take our dinner this evening. Thank you for your attention. Terima kasih, terima kasih. Then they can use the old scooter to go anywhere. Pass the very last jungle, tropical jungle or rainforest.
Seems that there had been a fatal accident and the police had a diversion in place, but under close supervision, and we had to wait our turn. This was the local produce market, which just made things a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I mean transport similar, same, because that's I call it.
But finally we're on our way once more. And our next stop was at a fascinating rubber plantation, where we saw it all happening. A wonderful stop. These yellow cups receive the sap of the rubber tree as it drains down through the grooves slashed in the bark. Inevitably, a large group of children came to see us, and it was wonderful to see them all. Some of them were obviously meant to be on their way to school, I think, or back from school, one or the other. But they couldn't resist seeing us, strangers, in their rubber plantation, which is so familiar to them, but so unusual to us. And the video camera was a real magnet. They came from everywhere, and the looks on their faces were wonderful to see. Our guides show just how elastic the congealed sap can be. It was a bit of a surprise to see the boy showing so much interest in the congealed sap and this elasticity, because frankly I felt he would have been very aware of it, living on the plantation area. Looked like the children following a Pied Piper.
Mrs. Gallup.
Rambutan. Pepper. Our next stop was at a wonderful fruit plantation. And in such a location there's always somebody there to sell you something. And of course we bought little packets of both white and black pepper.
Oling darama na ikon, monjolor tulus. Dan cuma digotap di bibikon.
Kami kota di sana, itu.
Digotap ma ditoru. Ta idung matu ada sawo tek nai. Bisa.
Itu sudah jauh tanam dah.
Bisa.
Ada karena sono bereng nih.
Ndak. Ma. Dua mam.
It is a small pepper plant.
Yes, I mean if to plant a new one.
Yeah.
A vanillin plant or vanilla.
All the year it's possible to start?
All the year.
But if it's possible and
It's growing up around the
And it has
Pepper.
become bigger.
tree.
It become like this.
Das ist
You can eat all or become die.
Coffee bean.
Kita noon, pamasok masa itu. Jadi keluar masih anon.
Sono naman gadong
Ima, otpe, ipamasok mati tanonyon, iya laon. Jadi,
daw non
ang guna perturui, iya lah deh, ulang ahaya, ulang renggangnya kitanoy. Sorapat ya, untuk kita.
Jadi sa besok tanong na tanam.
Nakopola, pesaon bo. Jadi, gotak maison. Jadi, siya nang makan.
And there's a new rubber plant.
Bodo langsung tanam isi. Lang pala pindah dito.
Jadi, isi madiahanay, isi
Ay gol mo tumbuhan non nga boy mo to. Pati so steak ba to?
And this clever monkey was absolutely wonderful to watch as he scaled the coconut palms and, on instruction from his master, twisted them around to detach them from their stalks to let them fall to the ground. He was really wonderful to watch in action, and his response to command was absolutely brilliant.
Tunggu, ini kameranya belum apa?
Belum siap.
Belum siap dia.
Putar.
Tunggu. Satu lagi.
Itu putar. Oh, maybe N.
Itu
Mau terkuat.
semalam ngajar supaya pas mutar gigit dia megang di buah yang digigit jatuh dia tabrak kelapanya ke bawah.
Kuat.
Kepalanya turun ke bawah. Coba dia dengan sakit. Sakit lah, patah kaki ini. Yang halus itu.
Terus kuat, terus.
Itu benar nggak bisa udah ngelawan.
Tali. Putar. Bawah ya, here. Bawah ya. Putar.
Ja. Aber sie sind vielleicht noch so nicht rein.
Ja.
Terus.
Atas.
Ada semut. Maybe M.
Ja.
Terus.
Look mal dort da durch, ich sehe das viel besser. Komm.
Hey, sehr gut.
Terus.
The old stalks were really getting in his way, but he persevered and finally it worked. And to cap it all, he sent a second one down too. But of course, his payoff was he got to eat some of them.
Ja, das dreht ab.
Mau ke pokok rambutan ini. Macam berdasar. Ada situ buahnya, jadi malam ku tarik, nggak biarkan dibilang tamunya itu. Jadi terbiasa dia.
Enak darah.
Mau ambil kayu dia. Tahu dia.
Data yung sumber.
Kurt, kannst du die zwei kriegen?
And we got to try some of the coconut juice. I must admit I've never particularly liked it, but it's supposed to be very good for you. And the monkey got some too, which was good. He seemed to enjoy it.
Main-main dia.
Not bite?
No. But maybe your hand look like butter, maybe. Different look. Okay. I think it's normal. As long as we are not made animal hurt, they don't touch us.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
It was wonderful to see just how good the monkey was, because frankly without him, the plantation operator would have to get really clever and actually have somebody scale the tree to bring the coconuts down. And I'm sure that would cost a lot more than feeding a monkey. A bit sad, but that's the way it is.
The valuable as active only. It's okay. So there's a local rubber. That's a not. That's a local rubber, the public rubber. So they're going to sell it. So to have a look about.
And here is another wonderful place to stop for a local market. This was brilliant.
Siapa yang mau kau?
Off again, but we were quickly stopped at the roadblock, where we were forced to buy some tickets to the local policeman's ball or face a fine before we could go through the town. We had a good driver. This was very difficult driving, really. But he wasn't thrown by it at all. A small local hydroelectric plant which makes good use of the high rainfall in this area.
is Purba Baru. So that's center of Seminary Muslim missionary. The Muslim Seminary. Special Muslim Seminary here, the central for Sumatra. So from Medan, from Aceh, they send the children to come here to learn about the Muslim. Yes?
Super.
This is a Muslim regional training centre, bringing in promising students from all over North Sumatra. They live in small huts on site and attend classes night and day as required, until they are graduated and posted out to extend the Muslim religion all over Sumatra and Java.
So it's a small house, you can see on the left side to stay, usually around 2. So proud for the Muslim Seminary Sumatra.
This is a college that operates 3 shifts a day, 7 days a week, I'm told, and processes some 50,000 new graduates a year. No wonder the Muslims are taking over the world.
We call it pesantren. 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 That is special for Muslims to learn about. So you like to stop off?
Threshing rice by feet. It works. This is a fast-flowing river where people are panning for gold. A lot of gravel will have to be panned before you get any gold though. And frankly, looking at what I saw in their pan, I think they might be lucky to get maybe half an ounce a day at the best. And on the price of gold then, that'd be roughly $100 a day. Not a bonanza, but I guess it could pay the way for these people in this part of the world. The marketing lurk here, of course, is that they want to sell you the gold. For a souvenir, maybe. But of course you don't get gold. I'm told that they regularly palm off iron varieties, which of course, when tumbled into little pieces, can look pretty much like gold. But sadly, it's worth virtually nothing. So it's the old story of caveat emptor. In other words, buyer beware.
Oh, there's nice gold also. But it's very soft. But still controlled by padang sudah kuat.
Not the most exciting meal, but it kept us going. And the beer was cold. Lots more S-bends as we climb into the mountains again. This was an interesting stop for most people, but frankly as a geologist it was pretty pallid for me. It's simply some boiling springs from geological activity close to the surface. And of course the kids have a payoff there. They come around offering eggs which allegedly have just been boiled in the boiling water. But if you're crazy enough to buy them, they're probably about 3 weeks old. Apparently something has gone wrong with our bus mechanically, and our driver is driving it up and down the road trying to figure out what it is. But by the sound of it, I don't like it. It's getting worse, and our driver has got a local mechanic to have a look at it. But the outlook is not good, and the motor is very lacking in power from here on. But we have to keep going. We have no option. There are no mechanics out here who could fix it. So we push on, hopefully, to try to make it to the village of Bonjol, about 40 kilometres away, where the highway crosses the equator. We even thought about hitching these 2 bullocks up to the front of the bus if need be, but it wasn't a great idea, and we kept on going, full of hope but not much confidence. This one looked as though it didn't like the idea very much anyhow. Finally, we had the equator in sight and we staggered slowly right up to it before the bus conked out. This is the equator in Sumatra at the village of Bonjol. There it is, stretches along there. Across from the northern hemisphere into the southern hemisphere. And despite the sick bus, there is Marjorie joyfully crossing the equator from north to south, from north to south, from north to south. It's a wonderful feeling in the wilds of Sumatra, but I do wish that bus was working properly. We are now stuck on the equator at Bonjol with a very sick bus. But we will somehow get it to Bukittinggi, have it fixed there, then drive to Padang and fly to Jakarta to thoroughly explore wonderful Java in the next video series. First, we will soon see lots more of truly superb Sumatra in the final segment called Exciting Bukittinggi. But in Superb Sumatra Part 3, Home of the Tiger, we didn't actually see a tiger, but now it's au revoir until next time.